Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first webinar of the Tribe series by efficy. This webinar is called Turn Your CRM into a Growth Engine with Tribe, and we are very, very happy to have you here. We're going to be covering 30 minutes or so with some very, very good insights. So I'm really looking forward to that. First, more introduction. My name is Daniel. I work as a account executive here in efficy in Copenhagen. And I'm the person who, among other people, is talking to customers, potential customers, showing them Tribe, showing them the strength of Tribe, and really taking you through the whole process so that you choose the right solution for your CRM needs. So if you ever are in Denmark, or if you're in Denmark and if you're interested in Tribe, there is a very high chance that you'll be speaking to me later on. And with me, I have my colleague here, Stefan, who maybe can you, Stefan, say a few words as well about yourself before we dive in?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm Stefan Höglund. I'm head of sales for the Nordics here at efficy. Short little background about me. I've worked in the SaaS industry for over 10 years, mainly with CRM, ERP, and procurement solutions. And yeah, over the years, I focused on leading sales teams, helping organizations work smarter, and supporting growth through better tools and processes. And yeah, I'm really passionate about sales, so I'm excited to share some insights with you here today, alongside Daniel.
Thank you very much, Stefan. And guys, I'm just going to tell you a secret. Stefan is also my manager. So please leave some good feedback after this webinar. Well, with that, now we know who we are. So let's dive in and talk a little bit about our agenda for today. It's going to be short, sharp, and sweet. First of all, we are going to cover some main challenges for business growth in 2025. We have written 2025, but it really is universal. So Stefan will be sharing also his experiences from previous years because these problems still stand until today. And after he does that, we will essentially have short run through about how does Tribe addresses these challenges, what we can do with the system so we can make your life easier and most importantly, make your business grow. After that, we're going to have a very, very short demonstration of the platform. And I put emphasis on the word short. As we mentioned, this is the first webinar of the series. And in the next webinars, you're going to be able to dive much, much deeper in Tribe and in different functions. And finally, we will have space for some questions and answers. So if you guys have some questions, we will be taking them. So prepare your notebooks. And with that being said, I think we should not lose time, Stefan, and just jump into it, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, right. I think that now we can take the stage and tell us about all your hassles that you have encountered through all the years working in sales.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, I mean, over the years, as I've been working as head of sales in different companies, I've seen certain challenges come up again and again. I worked for, as I mentioned, different companies, different industries, but with the same roadblocks that's slowing down growth. And today I'll share four of the biggest ones that I've encountered, and more importantly, what I've learned from them. So if we start looking at the top one here, working in silos between departments, I think one of the toughest challenges is when departments works in silos. Because I remember this one quarter where marketing was running amazing campaigns, but sales didn't even hear about them until weeks later. Because we were chasing leads that marketing had already warmed up, but without any coordination. So the momentum was gone when we reached out to them. So what that means that when teams aren't aligned, it's like running a bit of a relay race where no one knows who has the baton. So it's important to remember that the customer sees us as one company. So internally, we need to act as one team. And breaking down those silos means that we need transparency to each other's plans. And that's where a good CRM is really, really useful. It's really important. So if we take a look at bullet number 2, data not systematized and visualized properly. We all heard this saying that data without structure is just noise. And at one company I was at, the pipeline was supposed to be in the CRM, but in reality, it was basically scattered across spreadsheets, sticky notes, and email threads, which of course turned my forecasting into a nightmare because I have to look everywhere for it. And that's what might be one of the reasons why you are here today, because you are looking for a good CRM tool to kind of help you with that, to get everything in order. But when your data
Absolutely.
is systematized and visualized clearly in like nice, clean dashboards, you move from this kind of gut feeling decision making into real data based decision making. And that changes everything, to be honest. And it also helps decision makers sleep good at night, knowing that you are taking decision based on good data. And that's really, really important. Um, and the third bullet here, manual task taking focus of sales and growth. This is another big one for sure. Manual tasks eating into selling time. I've seen it so many times. Reps spending hours copying data between systems or kind of digging through different tools just to prepare a forecast or get an understanding of an account. And I mean, sometimes even after all that work, we'd realize that the deal wasn't even a good fit or the forecast was already outdated. And that's how fast paced the world is today, right? You need fast, efficient tools to kind of be on top of your game. So the reality is simple. Every hour spent on admin is an hour not spent with your customers. With the right tools and processes, you can automate the repetitive work in this and surface the right insight instantly and free your team to do what they do best, like selling and building relationships. Yeah, and
Yeah.
to close this out, um, these three challenges we talked about: silos, manual work, and poor data. They aren't just operational headaches; these are growth killers as well, right? But if we look at the good news here, if you're struggling with this, it's that these things are absolutely fixable. And with a CRM like Tribe, which has the right processes, it has the right tools, you can kind of shift your team's focus from being firefighters into builders that can start building pipeline. And that's when the real growth starts to happen. So yeah, I hope you gained some insights from that. And yeah, over to you, Daniel.
Yeah, no, I did gain quite a lot of insights from that. It's actually like a few things that really stuck out to me. One of them was when you were saying that not having the system is in place is not just issue or does not just create issue with the manual task, but it essentially kills your growth. And I think that that's what a lot of business owners or C-level executives forget, that very often they're just thinking, oh, like we're buying a system just to make it easier for our employees, which by the way still needs to be a priority, but very often they deprioritize it because they don't necessarily see how this affects their growth, how this affects their bottom line, but it really does.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, it was an amazing summary, I would say. And I now we have heard you, and of course now I'll have a bunch of things to tell about like why Tribe is the best and how it addresses these challenges. But before that, I would like to also hear from you guys, the ones that are participating in this webinar right now. We cannot speak directly, but we have a poll for you, which my colleague is going to share so that you can tell us if you have encountered any similar challenges. And we'll be very interested to hear the answers. Oh,
There we got the poll.
yes, we got the poll. Yes, okay. So somebody's having one or two, somebody's having all of these challenges. Okay, for now it's like very steady 50-50.
Yeah.
But there is one thing that's for sure, and that is that nobody has voted that they don't have any of the challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stefan, you know other people in similar position as you, have you ever encountered someone who has been like, no, I don't have any challenges and my work is amazing and I don't need any updates?
No, I haven't, to be honest. It feels like in my position, it feels like we're struggling with exactly the same thing, I would say.
Yeah.
Just getting overview of pipeline, getting access to what the sales reps are doing on their day to day. Yeah, so we can report up the chain of command in a good way with data-based decisions and not having to rely on that gut feeling I mentioned earlier.
Yes, absolutely. And I totally agree. Also, thank you for talking while I was fixing some of my presentation. But yeah, it's absolutely indicative. Also, the fact, the results that we got from our poll, that there is nobody who has it all figured out, and that's why we are essentially here to help.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's time to start talking. It's time to start showing you the benefits that you can have with Tribe. So first of all, now in any modern business, we have more than one department. So here I have listed 7 of them. Maybe some of you have all of them. Maybe some of you have 3 or 4, let's say. But essentially, imagine a system where all of those, from your sales rep to customer success, customer care, support, project managers, onboarding, marketing, finance, accounting, and even the SDRs, like all of them share the same information on the same platform where it's accessible for everyone. And I'm not talking integrations, I'm talking the same platform, which is important because, of course, this thing can be achieved if you create some integration between different systems, and you can say, oh, like we have our central system, but we get data from this one as well, and then we get data from this one and from this one. But very often the integrations are sort of limited, and they are very limited in what they show you and what they transfer. So if everything was put in the same system, do you think, Stefan, that that would make more difference versus having 6 different systems just integrated with each other?
Yeah, I mean, because time is key, right? We want to be as efficient as possible. We want everything in the same systems. We don't want to look into 3 or 4 different logins to other solutions. We want everything packed in one system. That's key, I would say. That's really important.
Exactly, exactly. I totally agree also as an end user. And also
Mm,
if you sit here and think, okay, but I don't have all these departments, I just have maybe sales and marketing. Why do I need a system that supports all the 7 or all the 8 or whatever? Well, you don't. And that's also the beauty of Tribe, that and actually in Tribe you can choose which modules you are going to have in your system. So whatever you don't need to use it, you don't need to have it as a part of your system, and you don't need to pay for it, right? So that's also
mm,
very, very critical. Now, we have your second challenge, Stefan, and I think this is extremely, extremely important because we see it daily. And we normally have somebody who is above us, and of course needs some input, needs to see, well, how it is going with with our customers, with our revenue, how many customers are staying, how many customers are leaving. There's so many things that can be essentially measured and that should be
mm.
visualized. But then the problem is, do you actually do that? Because yes, on paper, everyone is, yes, yeah, we have all the data about our revenue. Our revenue is the most important and so on. And then somebody like your manager or your CEO or your board is asking you, can you show us 4 or 5 simple graphs that show this very visually, because we don't have the time to dive into Excel sheets. And
Mm.
then you don't really have that,
No.
and then you have to use time also to create it, because like there is no place that actually has it ready for you.
No.
And with that being said, do you think, Stefan, that do you think that this has been a problem for you through the years? I mean, you did mention already, but like, why is this so spread out problem? Why haven't we found a solution yet that everyone can use?
I mean, just looking at these seven points here, if you don't have all of these points, like the main KPIs put up on a dashboard that you get immediately vision. That's probably about at least an hour's of work to put in to try to find
Exactly.
how much do we have, how much have we sold for, what's the average deal size, let's take a look at a pipeline, leads generated. That because that's information from different sources, right? But if you have everything posted in dashboard, that makes it so much easier. That makes it to go from an hour maybe down to 5 or 6 minutes, something like that.
Mm, mm. And imagine also if you can just press a button. So if you're thinking about like, okay, I'm having this meeting with the board in an hour, I do not have my data visualized and ready.
Mm.
So just pressing a button can resolve this issue.
Yeah.
This is what we can do. What do you do when the board is asking you these questions? Well, you basically are going to use Stripe, and then it's going to provide you with some of these data, actually all of this data with the proper systems in place.
Yeah.
Yes. I think the third problem, though, the one that you mentioned, is maybe the one that I, as an individual user, also encounter the most. And this is that we just have too many things to remember. And the world nowadays, in everywhere essentially, but like the business world is extremely fast paced. There are so many things that need to happen, so many people that are contacting you, so many people that you're contacting, that quite often it could happen that you can forget things. You can forget to follow up on a lead in 3 days as you promised. I have personally done that, and I know that Stefan, you don't like the sound of
What?
this, but it happens. It happens to all the people, right? Because there is just way too many things very often. And it doesn't only happen in sales, it could happen, like in finance, forgetting to send a reminder at the end of somebody's contractual period.
Yeah,
Or it could
for sure.
also, your onboarding specialists could be maybe a little bit more helped by something automatic, like an automatic email to show, hey, we're happy you have agreed to be our customer, and we want to welcome you here. Um, so all of these things are super important, but they're tedious sometimes. And so what is something that we need to do here, or that we can do again using Tribe, is simply to automate it all. It's extremely, extremely easy, and Tribe does give you the possibilities to create very many different automation flows and to address these things so that the system does them for you without even you lifting your finger. And if I have to ask you for an estimate, like how much time per day you and your team can save if all of this is automated, what would you say, Stefan?
No, it's that question for me. If we could automate it, yeah. Lucky for us, we use Tribe, so we automate it, so we save a lot of time, right?
Yeah,
Um, yeah, but I mean, again and again, if you don't have these kind of systems in place where you can automate it, it's a huge time sink. And as I
indeed, indeed.
and I mean, as I talked about, every minute, every hour you spend on admin is time that you don't spend with your customers, and that's where we need our sales reps to be out with the people,
Absolutely.
talking to them.
Yeah, yeah, super fair point. The sales reps have to be out talking with customers. They don't have to use too much time to do tedious tasks, create tasks in the CRM system that can be automated, and so on. This is time used from your most valuable resource, salespeople, basically talking to your customers, hearing their pains, and showing them why the system is the most important.
Yeah,
Speaking of that, I have these very quick stats here, and you kind of like touched upon it a little bit, that your team is also using quite a lot of time on researching the specific accounts. If we are looking into this, the one that are highlighted, researching leads and industry reading, that amounts to up to 30% just for that. And we're in the age of AI, right? So don't you think that's a little bit too much? Spending time on 30% on researching
yeah, that's
on
crazy
what
when
they're,
you read it like this. It's absolutely crazy to see. Yeah, I agree.
yeah, indeed. Yes, but Yeah, I know that I have very beautiful slides, but I know that you guys are also interested in showing a little bit of the system itself. So I think it's time for us to dive a little bit in the practical part. As I mentioned, you're going to be shown just a sneak peek, something very, very quick, but just to get an idea of how Tribe is and what it can offer. And then in the next sessions with my colleagues, there will be more deep dives on the different functions. But I think now it's time to introduce you to the front page of Tribe. And most importantly, to this little corner here called the dashboards, because we already did visualize all the different departments that we have in our organization. And now it's also very important to be able to clearly distinguish them in Tribe, but also to unify them. And that's hard. So about the distinguishing part, we have these different buttons here who are basically the different departments. So if I want to go to the sales department, I'll just press here. If I want to go to my onboarding slash projects department, I'll go here. For finance, I'll go in invoicing. For my support, here, marketing, etc. So you have them really, really well divided. And when you click on each of those, there is going to be some specific data that's going to show you something create or related to these departments. However, of course, these departments are not individual units. They work together with each other. So we want to see how they also collaborate. And where do they collaborate? Of course, on the customer. The customer cart is maybe the place where we can see how it looks. So I'm just going to show you very quickly how a customer cart looks like. So here I have one customer that I have worked a lot with. We've got a lot of things here. We have information about the sales opportunities I've had with them, about the projects, the invoices, events, even everything. So coming back to your or statement, Stefan, how you think that, when marketing, for example, is doing a very nice campaign, but you're not aware of it, and then you could be missing out on following up. This is something that can't happen in Tribe, because in Tribe, even the marketing people can, for example, create their own campaigns, and then these campaigns will be also shown on the customer cards of the customers that have been targeted. And so will be the opportunities, and so will be the reaching out tasks, etc. So whenever I want to know anything really that has happened to this customer, I can just go here and I can choose from the selection. And then the next point here, which is also very important, is that, well, we were talking a lot about automation, right? Do you think, Stefan, and that's not just a question about your role now in our current company, but also in previous ones, whenever there is a sales opportunity, do you think that people are always diligent in following up on it? What's your experience?
Some are, some isn't. It's a little bit of a mix.
Yes, indeed, it is a little bit of a mix, but I would say that even the best sales reps very often focus more on, like just calling a certain customer and, sending a certain contract and not necessarily 100% logging in the CRM system. Or
That's
sometimes they just, yeah, create an opportunity and then they sort of like forget to follow up on it if it's not that hot. But
yeah.
here is the thing. In in Tribe, what you could do is that whenever you are creating a sales opportunity like this one, and I gave it the very creative name of sales, you could basically just save it, of course. And in the moment where you are creating the sales opportunity, Tribe is also automatically going to create a task that is related to the sales opportunity, meaning that I do not necessarily need to go and manually create my own tasks for following up because it is already here. You can automate many more than that. You can make the tasks more, give them another name or have multiple tasks, etc. But you can just have them show up automatically with a certain trigger. And this is part of these automations that we have been talking about. Something like this just coming up without you lifting your finger. Apart from that, of course, another thing is we talked a little bit about account research. And when we do account research, we use a lot of time. We're living in the age of the era of AI, and this should not be the case. So for the salespeople, after they have created this opportunity, after they have their tasks to follow up, they of course need to research this account and to make sure that they are relevant. And that's why we have this AI prospecting here. So the AI prospecting in Tribe actually allows you to do many interesting things just with a click. You can go here when you press this button. Basically, it's going to ask you who your company is. Then it's going to analyze what your company does. And then you can press here your company, your target company. And essentially, it's basically going to analyze all the internet, give you so much data about what their financial status is, who the contacts are, can give you some article, even job vacancies, etc. So you can see how much they are growing, and all of that just summarized here. So this has already done a lot of research for me. I don't have to do almost anything, but like if that's not enough, it can also help me create sales opportunities, meaning topics that I can use in order to reach somebody, in this case in Novo Nordisk, and to tell them, hey, look, Tribe is relevant for you. So the system basically analyzes the data of Novo Nordisk. It analyzes the data of what we have in Tribe, and then it can give you some ways for you to reach out your prospects in Novo Nordisk and some topics. What are your thoughts, Stefan, about this?
Yeah, also a super time saver. Helps
Yeah,
us a
right.
lot. And I mean, these kind of topics kind of allows you to enter a demo or a discovery meeting with some good information instead of just talking about the weather and stuff like that.
Absolutely. You
So
can be
yeah, super.
relevant, and it shows, yeah, it shows that you have done your research, even though AI has done it for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love that. I really love that as a salesperson. Um, Finally, the visualizing part. All these reports that you have to send to your board, to your manager, to your CEO, whatever you want. In Tribe, we have so many reports that are ready, and basically what you need to do is just to click on a button and choose the report that you want. You can already go on the front page, and if you navigate down here, you have this button called Add Widget. We call our reports widgets, and when you press on it, basically Tribe is going to offer you a bunch of different options for widgets that are related to the different activities. So essentially what you should do is basically just to find whatever you want, and then it's just going to add it to the front page. And you also have the opportunity to create your customized widgets. So as long as you have the data in Trap, you can visualize it very easily and just have it there saved. Is that going to resolve some of the issues that you have had in the past with reporting, etc.?
Yeah,
Stefan?
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Makes it so much easier.
Yes. I think, guys, now that we essentially are just going to stop sharing the screen because we're going to have another question for you, as written here. So after all of that, and before we have finalized everything, I think we can just go to the polls and see if you would be interested in having a demo of this amazing system. And if you've already had the demo, but you maybe just want to talk to us or ask some questions, just also press that button. Yes, I would like a demo, and then we'll contact you. Also, if you have some other questions. And if you don't want to have a demo at this moment, that's also totally fine, because we are not pressuring anyone into anything. And it's very important that you guys first realize the need, and we're just here to help you with that. Yeah, so I'm looking at the results right now. So yes, some of you will prefer to have it at a later stage. and that's totally fair.
No hard
Um,
feelings.
Sorry?
No hard feelings.
No hard feelings, no, not at all. I think that it's very important that we are here just to, because salespeople are very often seen as someone who is pressuring you into something here and now. That's not the case with us. We're just here to help, and we're just here to share some insights with you. And if you find them helpful and interesting, then sure we can continue. Yes, so just give me 1 second because there is one last thing that we need to do before we say goodbye, and that is, of course, to open the stage for Q&A. So right now, whoever has any questions in the chat, you can pop them down, and we are going to try and answer them. So also, if you don't have questions, same thing, it's fine. We can always reply to the questions also in the future. So let's see if something is popping up.
Maybe I can ask a question meanwhile if we don't have any questions from the group.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of the questions that might pop up is that how much help can I get with setting up the system?
Yes, you can have all the help that you need. Essentially, because we do have a very diligent consultants, so they are going to be helping you with everything from importing data to setting up the system with the proper fields, creating templates, and so on. And this is going to essentially be completely done by us unless you want to do some of it by yourself, because we're also flexible in that way. So you can choose how much help you actually want to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another question, does the amount of users affect the price of the extra modules?
Of the extra modules, no. So essentially, what is the amount of users important for is just the base of your tribe subscription. So that is going to, yeah, be affected by the number of users. But once you start wanting to add modules, so for example, if you want to add the support module, that would cost the same amount regardless if you're 2 or 20 users, which is absolutely mind-blowing for me if you ask me. I don't know about you, but
Mm,
it's really
that's
good.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still no questions in the chat. Maybe one question to round it off. Can I already use the AI tool? I saw that it was in beta at the moment, but can I already use it?
Yes, so the AI tool, you are very correct. Right now it's in beta. However, it is absolutely possible to use it. You just need to reach out to us, and then we can activate it in your system, and we can do it for free because it is in a beta state right now. So we are doing the final tweaks, and so of course we would be very helpful or thankful for some feedback. So as long as you agree to give us a little bit of feedback, you can get it activated in your system and use it for free, right?
Mm.
Yes. So that are, by the way, very good questions. I really hope that you guys are thinking about it and are thinking about the AI tool specifically as well.
Yeah.
Was that everything, Stefan?
Yeah, that was everything.
Yes, we are also a little bit over time. I know I get very excited about Tribe, but we have one last thing here that I need to show. And this is essentially just our last page. Very important. I think that you guys have to take a look at it. As I mentioned, Tribe is going to have many more webinars upcoming. So the series are going to be taking place now in August, September, and even the beginning of October. You can scan the QR code for the next webinar, which is going to be happening already next week on the 26th with my colleagues, Aubrey and Christopher, who are very technical, super amazing. They're going to be talking about projects, the project module in Tribe, which is absolutely great and one of the strengths of Tribe. So the first QR code is specifically for you to sign up for that webinar. And the second QR code is if you want to be taken to a page where you can find all the upcoming webinars. So feel free to scan them. And I think that's it from us, right, Stefan? Do you have any final words?
No, I don't. I just want to thank you for taking the time to check out Tribe, and it's been a pleasure to have this webinar alongside with you, Daniel.
Yes, the pleasure has been also mine, having you as a partner in crime, but also having all of our guests here who hopefully have learned something new and hopefully will be joining other webinars about Tribe. So with that being said, thank you for joining and we'll see you again the next time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.